Hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Thursday, the show that puts glennzb up your Periscope. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world and the world to New Zealand. Welcome, 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 welcome everybody. A little tip, I mean, I don't know, who am I to tell television, international network news television stations how to do their job, but when I look up at Al Jazeera and I see this bloke on the screen, let's just have a good close look at this bloke. Now, I'm not one to make, I'm not trying to make fun of somebody's disabilities. There's another look. That it got my interest, don't get me wrong. I was interested to know what this man was talking about on Al Jazeera this morning. Turns out, this is what he was talking about. He's an aerospace analyst, and he was talking about the search for bits of plane, including the black boxes of the Egypt air flight. And I'm just wondering, is this really the man? The man where one eye is looking down and one eye is behind blurry glass looking up. Is this really the guy we want poring over small bits of plane trying to figure out what happened to it? Maybe it is. Maybe there are things about aeronautical investigations I don't understand. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure I don't understand most of it. Hey, I just quickly, I can't help. I sort of pretend that I'm not really that interested in rugby league anymore, especially given the performance or lack of the Warriors this year. And yet, when State of Origin comes round, and I mean, I haven't really followed it for a long time, but when you hear that Queensland won again, even though everybody said it was the other guys who were going to win, I just can't help it, just smile to myself a little bit. And I don't even know why I support Queen. I think it dates back to a time when Queensland never won, and they were always the underdogs, because it was a New South Wales sort of based competition, and they just couldn't get the players. There was Mel Meninga, and that was it. And now, seems like I just sort of, I smile a little. It's just something in me. I don't know what that's funny, isn't it? It's weird. Does that happen to you? Not so much. Not so much the people who are watching this from the other side of the world and never even heard of rugby league. Perhaps for you, not so much. Now, the word urgent, I think I've talked about this a long time ago, because it's not the first time I've seen one of these, but the word urgent, when you put it next to the word blood, it raises questions, doesn't it? I've talked about this before because I've seen one of these cars on the motorway before. See, this is a lab tests car, and you see at the top of the window, and not, to be fair, and not like glaring, flashing, or even red letters, just in a sort of a fairly standard kind of a white font, urgent, blood. On this Toyota Yaris here. I've talked about how that most of the time when there's blood involved, it's urgent. I think I have mentioned that on a previous historical episode of glennzb TV. But in this case, the reason I was able to take this picture so clearly was not just because I was using the new Huawei P9, which has an amazing camera in it with two different lenses, a monochrome lens and a color lens. The real reason is, as you can see from the context of the picture, I was stuck in traffic. That traffic wasn't moving at all. So I'm not quite sure how urgent the blood was in that particular car, but it wasn't getting anywhere urgently. And I started to worry. I started to worry who was waiting for the results, who was waiting for the blood, the organs, what was happening there. Because I hope it was in a chili bin, that's all I can say. And finally, could have been a tricky situation. This is cat killing update for you. Remember the other day when it was reported that this was on my front doorstep, and I didn't know whether I was going to have to hit it with a shovel when I got home because because of this, and it was shaking and not very well. And luckily, it was gone by the time I got home, and I didn't have to. That problem had been taken away from me by fate. Well, some of you may be pleased to know, because I wasn't the only one who didn't know where this had gone. This thing, its owner, it turned out, put flyers in everybody's letterboxes, and we rang them and said, "Yep, we saw that thing, and lucky for you, it wasn't on the doorstep when glennzb got home because he might have hit it with a shovel." I don't know. Did we tell them that? Not sure. But anyway, the good news is they found it, the owners of that, and they've got it back. Not sure whether they had any shovel-related activities planned for it after that. But, yeah, they gave us a ring saying, don't worry, it's all worked out all right in the end. So that's a happy ending. Really, I just keep showing that picture because I know that sort of thing rates well on the internet. Would have rated perhaps less well if the shovel had actually come into it. Not sure. It's not that kind of a website. I am glennzb. Thank you so much for having me. Up your Periscope. See you back here again tomorrow, maybe?